Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're doing this, if you're watching the replay. We are here on this Wednesday, and we are going to get in a full body conditioning workout in today. So we're going to start off with a warm-up. We will not need any equipment except our body and our mat, and you will want to put on your shoes. Specifically, if you're going to be joining me on the high impact stuff, the jumping stuff in our conditioning circuit, which is going to compose our session today. We have one big old conditioning circuit. Now for that, you will need dumbbells specifically, and over here, you also see this sneaky jump rope. That will be an option. Today, of course, if you don't have a jump rope, you know that I have lots of ways to get your heart going and your blood flowing without the jump rope. The other thing that you can incorporate if you don't have dumbbells or if you do not have the jump rope is your bands. Okay, so let's get you started with this warm up, which is going to start off at the very end of our mat, standing up nice and tall, hip width apart in the feet. We're going to soften out the knees, push our hips back behind us, giving us that nice opening stretch in the back of the legs. Hands down onto the floor. We shall walk ourselves all the way down to the bottom. When we get here, we're going to step in and go back, step in the other one, and go back, and then we'll walk back up to the top, sending our hips up into the air, reaching our arms above our head. At the top, you're going to turn so you can see this little side bend action that we want at the top. So reaching over to one side, reaching over to the other, and then we'll go back down and do that one 2 more times to make it 3 total. So again, straight legs, soft knees, plank position, trying to step that foot in as close as we can to the hand without, forcing anything. For most of us, we're doing this early in the morning before we've done much of anything else. So we're going to take our sweet time with these ones, with the side bends, okay? And then we'll go through 1 more of those all the way down. See if maybe you can step that foot in a little bit closer than you did on those first 2. If not, that's okay, because we are going to stand up and get ourselves into a squat stance. So as you come to an end, we want to stand a little bit wider than we were before with that angle out on our toes. We're going to sit down into a squat and take our elbows, bringing them as close to our knees as possible, apply some pressure, and then we'll stand up and arms can just hang out in front of us here because we are going through 10 of these. So we're trying to get contact with the elbows and the insides of the knees to open up the knees at the bottom, getting a little bit of a stretch through our inner thighs. If you can't quite sit that low, you can always use your forearms or your hands rather than sinking all the way down using your elbows. So we'll go through those, 10 of them total. Again, not worrying too much about what we're doing with our arms. You just hang out in front, straighten out. Whatever really is, 10 reps total of those ones. Very nice. Okay, so as we come to an end on those squats, we're going to get ourselves down into that same plank. So you can walk yourself down to the plank, but we're going to stay down here, stepping that 1 foot in, and then we're dropping down onto this knee. We're going to open up to one side, following the hand with the eyes, closing and reaching through, channeling that thread the needle action that we know so well. We'll do 3 of these total, where I close and reach through towards my other side underneath that armpit, and then we'll open, again, trying to see the ceiling right above ourselves. 3, shall pop back up, switch sides onto the floor, and then now we will start going with this side here, going through 3 of these opening rotations on this side now. So this, again, should not be painful, nor should pretty much anything, except, that whole burning pain that we talk about all the time. But we shouldn't feel any pinchy, sharp pain anywhere. If you are, we're just going to find ways to make it more comfortable and less painful, okay? So once you're finished that, we'll bring ourselves back up to the top. You can walk, you can step, you can do whatever you want to do, but you're going to join me up here standing nice and tall, and we're going to keep our arms down by our sides, working through 3 big circles with our shoulders in one direction. And then we will stop and do 3 the other way, that opposite direction. Trying to keep the arms down by our sides, which makes these circles really not feel that big at all, but we're trying to work with whatever range we got going on at this time of the day, at this time in our lives. 3 and 3. Next one's arm swings. We're going to get these arm swings going through 10 total. And I want to make sure, you want to make sure that you have some space behind you, because after we finish 10 of these just standard arm swings, we're going to add in a back lunge to 10 more. So I'm stepping down into the lunge, closing my arms, and I'm crossing one over the other, trying to keep them lifted so that they don't sink and fall. And yes, this is where we're going to get a little burn-in, brewing in your shoulders. We'll go through these ones, 5 on each side, 10 reps total. And make sure you have some space so you don't knock anything over in your house. 10 of those. Very nice. Okay, we got a few more in this warm-up. Hopefully you are warming up. The next one is all about our balance, among a couple other things. The balance is certainly involved. We're going to shift the weight onto one leg. Make sure that that leg that we're standing on is soft. Okay, so this step 1 is finding your balance, standing on one leg. What we're going to do then is go into our deadlifts. As we go down into that deadlift, we're going to extend the leg out, the arms above our head. So hopefully we're ending up in a straight line, which I can see is not that straight. There we go, butt up. And then as we stand up, we want to drive our knee up to 90 degrees at the knee, 90 degrees at the ankle, at the heel. And then we'll go through that 10 times. So that was 1, trying to get it straight. Again, maintaining that 90 degrees at our ankle, getting all the way up 90 degrees at the hip. Important that we're practicing those angles. And we shall do 10 of these. So again, yes, balance is certainly involved. This is important. So if you find you cannot quite do this one, we're still, waking up, warming up, practicing our balance. You can forget the arms and just worry about going through that deadlift and driving up that knee at the top. Okay, 10 on the other side. Trying to keep it even, although one side might feel quite a bit harder than the other. We're also going to feel some work happening in our glutes, in the back of our hips. Maybe a little leftover residual feel-in from Monday, but we are getting a bit of activation work as we go through these deadlifts. So we'll get them on both sides. 10 and 10. There you go. And take your time with them, because if you rush these guys, they really just make you kind of fall over and lose balance, okay? So we'll work through those ones. Now, as you finish up those, the next one is down on the floor. We're going to get ourselves into an all-4 position, working with a bird dog. So 4 limbs on the floor. We want our wrists stacked right underneath our shoulders, our hips stacked underneath our knees. So we have this square underneath ourselves. And what we're going to do is extend opposite arm, opposite leg, holding it up here. We're going to reach the arm and the leg away from the midline, away from the center. And then we bring it back to center, back down on the floor, and then we'll lift up our other side now, reaching them up, away from the midline, which I just kind of kicked the wall because I don't quite have enough space. There we go. Okay, and then we come back in, back down, and we'll complete 20 of these total, 10 per side. Now, most important in this one, of course, is maintaining that balance and being able to kind of hold your limbs up there while you move them slightly away from that center point. But we do also want to focus on our core so that we're not arching or rounding our back. So what you can do is think about pulling in your belly button, and as you kick that leg up, that arm up, we should feel, again, that glute, your booty, working on that side, okay? Rather than kind of pushing our ribs down like this. That is not going to give us that same work in the hips or in our core. So we'll work through those ones. You can feel warm after those if you're not already. 20 of them, okay? 10 on each side. And yeah, they do take a bit, because we're trying to take it slow and trying to reach out in and then back down to center, sort of separating it. So it's like 2 different movements with the extension and then the reach out. So we'll go through those ones. I'll give you guys about 15, maybe 20 more seconds to finish them up. There you go. And then we are going to get you started on our big old conditioning circuit that we are working through. So as you finish up those bird dogs, I'm going to set our timer for first set. All our sets. It's going to stay the same in all of them. But we are going to set this guy for our work. Okay, so as you come to an end, you can stand up, grab yourself some water, okay, walk it off. We are going to be working through this circuit, which I have my timer here set for 60 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So we're going to be working for 1 minute on these exercises. Each exercise is followed by a 30-second rest period. Sounds nice? Yes. We're also going to take 1 full minute of rest after we complete one entire set of the circuit. Because like I said, this is a big old conditioning circuit. It's a big one today. Okay, we're going to complete 3 rounds total only. Now, today, you have options. We're going to have certain exercises that are not optional, okay, including this first one, which I'm going to talk about. But between each of these non-optional movements that we're going to do, you have a choice in what you can kind of use as your cardio acceleration exercise or your filler exercise. So this is where that jump rope is going to come into play. First exercise we're going to do is a thruster. So that's going to include our dumbbells. We're going to get ourselves into a squat stance, hold those dumbbells here, and work with that thruster for 60 seconds. Once we're finished that, we're going to have 30 seconds of nothing, okay? This is something that you're going to appreciate as we go through the exercises and through the rounds, and that is here so that you can push yourself harder within these 60-second work periods. So, thrusters, hopefully you're with me, 30 seconds of rest, and then we're going to go into that cardio acceleration exercise, which you have a imaginary list of movements and exercises that you can choose from. So jump rope is the first option. We can grab our jump rope and actually use the rope to jump. If you don't have a jump rope or if you don't have the space to jump your rope, we can always do our imaginary jump rope. I have about 4 other options that I'm going to talk about, including our split jumps. Okay, low impact peeps. I'm going to come at you hot with lots of things that you can do, including your knee to elbows. So I've showed you some. You can choose one of those for your first set. And what we're going to try to do is stay with that exercise between every single exercise that we're doing, okay? Because again, we have our baseline ones that we need to do, and we're going to talk about those right now. And between each of them, we will be working with that cardio acceleration, all right? So hopefully that makes sense. I know sometimes it can be a lot, especially when we have like a bigger circuit like this. But what we're going to do is go through these movements, and there are 5 of them. I had to count just to double check so I didn't get your hopes up and crush them. Just kidding. So these 5 movements that we're going to do, first one is our thruster, all right? So that's the one I just talked about. Second movement, and the next 3 after that, we are going to go through on this timer on our first set, okay? So just keep in mind, we're going to need our dumbbells close, that jump rope if you're going to use it, those bands, whatever equipment that you have going on here, we are going to put it into play. Are you ready for this? So thrusters is the first one, and then we're going to follow it with our cardio acceleration, and then I will tell you about all the other ones after we finish this first part, okay? So grab your dumbbells, get yourself ready, because we are starting in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. That was a very subtle beat, but it was there. So we'll grab these guys here, squat stance. We squat and we press up over our head. We're trying to exhale, push those weights up. Inhale, bring them down, being as powerful as we can in our legs so that our arms don't really have to muscle up the weights. We're kind of tapping into that momentum of the legs as we go through this. If you don't have dumbbells, we can hold any sort of weighted household item or simply just work with your hands. Just raise the roof at the top rather than having those dumbbells. Of course, though, the dumbbells are something that I would highly suggest to use if you have them. All right, so let's keep working through this. 15 seconds left. Very nice. Breathing through them. Okay, give me 2 more. 3, 2, 1, and rest. So we're going to take those dumbbells and put them down. We have 30 seconds now of just full-on rest, okay, which right now, we don't really need it as much as we will when we go through these other movements in our next 2 sets, because again, we're doing 3 rounds of this circuit total. So for this next part here, now we're going to do our cardio acceleration, which you are choosing which one you want to do. Jump rope, imaginary jump rope. We can work with our split jumps. Okay, if you're low impact, we can have our fast feet, knee to elbows. All right, the goal here is to get your heart rate up. So let's go. Picking one of these and sticking to it for this entire minute is what we want to do. If you want to switch between them, we're going to do that between each round, okay, not within the minute. So we're going to stay consistent to one of these exercises right now, all right, for 35 more seconds. So whatever one you're doing, we're trying to pace ourselves so that we can keep doing it for the entire minute. But keep in mind, the harder that you push yourself in this sort of acceleration exercise, the harder that this entire circuit is going to be, and the more effective this entire circuit is going to be. So 15 seconds left. Let's go. Okay, whatever you're doing, trying to push ourselves through it. 10 more seconds. There you go. 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, nice work. So second exercise, we're going to do body weight. We just need some space, and I think I'm going to get a little bit cut out here, but you'll still be able to follow along. So I'm going to stand hip width apart, down onto the floor, walking out into a plank. When I get down here, I'm going to walk over my mat, and then I'll walk back up to the top on the other side, standing up and doing it again, okay? So this is going to be you for the next minute, which starts right now. Let's go. So again, we walk down to the bottom, okay? In that plank position, we want opposite hand and opposite foot. I know I'm a little bit cut off. Moving, and then we walk back up to the top, standing up tall, and repeating for 40 more seconds. So we're trying to work with a nice strong plank as we're walking sideways across the mat, which is definitely one of those ones that is much harder than it looks, especially when you're asked to move your opposite hand and opposite foot. So think about that. Try to get that little coordination going in there. 20 more seconds left. There we are. So we'll breathe through this. Okay, 10 more seconds here. Very nice. Last one. Walking over, back up. 3, 2, 1, and 30 seconds of rest. So stand it up. Take some deep breaths. Grab some water. We are going into our second set of our cardio acceleration, which is going to be preferably same thing that you did in the first set, okay? Whether it was the jump rope, the split jumps, the knee to elbows, whatever you chose to do, we're going to try to do it again throughout the next 3 more exercises that we have after this, okay? 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So whatever one you chose to do, whether it was our jump rope, imaginary or real, our split jumps, which again you can take into some movement if you like. We can move sideways, okay, we can move forward, backward, stay in place, whatever you want to do. Sometimes makes it a little bit more interesting, a bit more engaging if we have some movement to it, those lateral movements, but whatever you want to do, okay? We're going to try to keep it going here. 30 more seconds. So the most important thing here, no matter what exercise, what level of impact you're doing, is that you don't stop, okay? We have lots of rest compared to sometimes when we don't have lots of rest. We have 30 seconds, plus we're going to take 1 whole minute when we're done this first set, okay? So really do try to push yourself right now. And on this next one, 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, next one's going to need the dumbbells. So we're going to grab these guys again, preferably ones that you can push over your head. So if your weights are too heavy, you can put one down and just hold one dumbbell sideways like this, one side in each hand. We're going to push these guys up above our head, okay? And this overhead hold, we want to make sure our core is tight so we're not arching our back like this, but we're sort of doing a little bit of a pelvic tilt, squeezing and contracting our glutes. We're going to hold these weights up. There it is. And then now we work with these 90-degree leg lifts. Okay, so we're trying to lift up our knees to 90 degrees. Woo, a little bit of balance.
so that we have 90 degrees at the knee, the hip, and the ankle. Keeping those weights above our head the entire time. Woo! That is, again, something that is more challenging than it looks. We're tapping into our core, the endurance in our shoulders. Okay, they're gonna start burning like crazy if they're not already. It's part of the deal. So we're just gonna try to keep them up there. If you don't have weights, we just hold our hands above our head. You can hold a band sideways, or again, grab yourself a heavy book, household item, put it up there. 10 more seconds left. Okay, so breathe. Do a little check, make sure that you are coming up to 90 degrees. All right, arms are straight. 3, 2, 1, and time. Nice work. Okay, so we have our 30 seconds. Woo. Some shoulder burning action. So we're going to go into our next round of our cardio acceleration. Okay, so again, trying to stay consistent as per what you did on the first 2. Remember that we have 5 exercises total. 2 more. This next one more after that. And then we're resting. Okay, so we're back into whatever we chose to do in that very first set. All right, trying to work through it. Maybe seeing if we can crank it up a little bit, do it a little bit faster. Try to be more intentional so you can get more intensity behind whatever you have going on right now. Okay? Even if you're working with a knee to elbow, okay, these can be really challenging. You don't need to jump. We just have to work faster. We have to make our body move quicker than it wants to go. Okay, that's what we're trying to do right now, is get that uncomfortable feeling that we know and love. Maybe we don't love it, but we know it. 15 seconds left, okay? So try to just get a little bit faster, a little bit more. I know you have it in there. 10 seconds left. There you go. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and time. Very nice work. Okay, so we're going to go into our next base exercise, which is our invisible ball slams. So we don't need any weights. We just need a body. We're going to get ourselves into a squat stance. Okay, again, keep in mind we do have this 30 seconds of rest, so we still have some time, so don't start yet. But when that beat goes off, we're going to grab our invisible ball, push it above our head, exhale, slam it down on the floor, trying to be as powerful as possible on the way down. A little bit more control than speed on the way up. That was your starting beat. Let's go. Let's do it. So we're trying to slam that ball, or our imaginary ball, down on the floor as hard, as powerful as possible, right? We're trying to get our legs down to 90 degrees, sitting down into that squat, and using them on the way up and on the way down, okay? Rather than kind of leaving our hips up in the air like this, we'll try to get them down there. 30 seconds left. So pace yourself, all right? Again, with this one, be kind of easy. You know, you can just kind of go through it and, you know, a little bit of this. But it can also be really challenging, okay? Really intense. If you actually think about it, okay? If you actually try to be, the way down should be much more powerful than the way up. So try to get that going on right now. Last couple. 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay. Woo. 30 seconds of rest. And then we have our next set of our cardio acceleration. Okay, whatever one you were doing, we're doing it again in just over 10 seconds. Okay, so deep breaths. This 30 seconds feels nice now, I know. All right, getting ready to start. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So whatever one you had going on, we're going to try to do it again. Okay, whether it was your jumping up the rope, which hopefully we're feeling a little bit better in if you are choosing to do it, as we just kind of started talking about it, incorporating it in officially over the last couple weeks. 30 seconds left. Okay, so let's keep working through this. We have one more exercise, one more round of this, whatever you're doing right now, and then we're going to take 60 seconds full on rest. And remember, I said 3 rounds. So this is the first one. We have 2 more to go after this. And then we're done. That's it. We got some stretching. 15 seconds left, okay? So we'll push ourselves in this first set. There it is. 3, 2, 1, and 30 seconds of rest. Nice work. Okay, so our final one that we're going to do, we're going to need our dumbbells. We're going down on the floor. I'm going to take both my dumbbells and put them over to one side of the mat, getting myself into a all-4 position. We're going to be working with an off-knee hold here. So I'm on my knees, and then I want to pop off my knees. I'm going to grab a dumbbell, pull it through, and put it down on the other side. Other one, put it down on the other side, and then I will do that back the other way. So if you want to make this a little bit more challenging, you move that dumbbell, and then you reset that hand. Move the dumbbell, reset the hand, okay? Rather than going for both dumbbells at the same time. So if you don't have a dumbbell, we're trying to just hold that off-knee position, tap the floor on either side rather than pulling through that dumbbell. Most important thing here is that you're hanging out with your knees hovering, with your butt not lifting in the air, feeling that work in your core. We're going to feel the legs. You're going to get some work in your quads, front of the thighs here, and of course your heart rate. Yes, we're feeling that too. So we'll try to breathe through this one. There we go. Less than 10 seconds. All right. All right. 3, 2, 1, and nice work. Okay, standing up. Woo! So we're going to do our final round of our cardio acceleration on our first set. Okay, so again, staying consistent to what you did. We have 1 more round of it. If you want to switch it up, we can do that on the next set, which we'll talk about when we get there. Okay, 10 seconds left here before we start our last set of our first round of that acceleration, okay, which is, it's in the name, okay? This is accelerating your workout. So again, the harder you push yourself when you were started, because you heard that beep, the harder that you can do this, the more intense you can be, the higher we're going to get your heart rate, okay? And that is what we are going for here. Try and get it up there, and so we can make you feel uncomfortable. That's the goal. It shouldn't be easy when we're going through this. You should not feel good, okay? You should feel extremely worked, tired. We're going to earn the 60 seconds of rest that we will get in 30 seconds, okay? So 30 seconds left. Let's get it. Strong finish, okay? Here we go. 15 seconds left. Whatever you're doing, we're going to maintain it. Do not slow down. We're just going to stay right here. All right. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right. Very nice work, my friends. So we have 60 seconds on the clock right now, and it's already started. So you're grabbing water right now. We're walking around our room, walking around the space that we have. Woo! We are breathing because we are probably feeling very hot and heavy, like our heart rate is up in there. So we're going to try to calm that down a little bit within the next 35 seconds that we have left. And then we will be doing it again. 2 more rounds of this stuff, and then we're done, okay? So back to that first one, first exercise. Working with the thrusters. Okay? So getting ready to start in about 15 seconds. I'm just resetting our timer here. Perfect. All right. Some deep breaths. We're trying to control the breath, okay? And taking the nice deep ones into our belly rather than the shallow chest breathing. Doesn't help calm us down very much rather than those deep ones. All right, so we're starting in about 5 seconds on our second set. Back to those thrusters. So I want you to pick up your dumbbells, get yourself set up, squat stance in the feet, dumbbells up. Getting ready to start in 3, 2, 1, and let's do it. First exercise of our second set. Okay, so we are here again. We're gonna try to do, again, the same thing that we did, maybe even crank it up a notch, be a little bit more intense. We're nice and warm. Our body knows what's going on because we've already done one set. So now is the perfect opportunity to push yourself on the second set, okay? Because it's not the last one, which is usually the one where we're really just tired and exhausted. This is the second one, okay? So you can think about this as your strongest set. 25 seconds left, all right? Or try to make it your strongest set. Breathing through these reps and trying to use the legs to help push those weights up, all right? 15 seconds left. We got this. We do. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Working through this one for 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, 30 seconds of rest on the clock. I'm taking it. Putting those dumbbells down and aside because we know what's next is that cardio acceleration. So now, if you like, you can switch it up. You can do a different exercise. Okay, whether you were doing the jump rope, maybe you want to do the split jumps. Maybe you want to stick with the jump rope, all right? Maybe you want to take the impact out and try these knee to elbows, or you can also work with our fast feet. Whatever it is, you start it right now, okay? We can even do something like a toe tap, where we're tapping our toes in front of us like this. And the most important thing is that you are moving for this entire minute, okay? So we're trying to keep doing something this entire amount of time that we have, which is 35 seconds left. Okay, so pace yourself. And again, trying to push ourselves. Here we go. All right, so pushing through this one. Again, same thing. We're trying to be as strong as we can, especially in these first few rounds that we're doing. 15 seconds left. Let's get it. Okay, strong finish in 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, so we have our 30 seconds rest, and we're going to put those weights down, move them away, because that next one, we need that space. Okay, we're walking out, over, and up to the top. Now, if you don't quite have enough space, and I'll show you because I, kind of cut out of the camera a little bit, rather not. What you can do is come to the end of the mat like this, walk down to the bottom, and then you can walk over the mat onto one side, over the mat back to where you started, and then you can walk back up to the top, okay, rather than actually traveling the whole length of our mat, because I get it, some of us are essentially kind of shoved in a corner, like me, for these sessions in our homes, and so that's something that you can do instead if you are tight on space. Okay, second set though, let's get it. 30 seconds left. So again, we're trying to stay strong in the core, move those opposite limbs together. Okay, opposite hand, opposite foot. All you have to do is just kind of slow it down, think about that a little bit, and it will sort of get going. But naturally, probably will not happen like that. You'll probably have to think about connecting those opposite two. Okay, 10 seconds left. There we go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice work. Okay, 30 seconds. And on to our second set of that cardio acceleration. So same idea as our first round. We're going to try to stay as consistent as we can with what we did on that first set. So whatever you chose to do, we shall do it again. Okay, whatever exercise it was. And it starts right now. Let's do it. 60 seconds, second set. Okay, so let's try to do it just as strong as we did on the first set. You are jumping your invisible rope, okay, tapping your toes, working with that knee to elbow still. Let's get it. All right, working through this one. 40 seconds left. And that's why we have options today. As you can see, we're spending a lot of time doing this cardio acceleration. So that's why we want to have these options. You could switch between exercises on each round, but you can also see that 1 minute, it's going to be much more beneficial if you can stick to the same movement within this round, okay? So 15 seconds left. You chose it. We're going to try to do it again on the next 4. This is our second one. Oh, right. 3. I cannot math, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, nice work. So on to the next one, which is our overhead hold with our 90-degree knee lifts. So we're going to grab onto those weights. If you found you could not keep those weights up, they're too heavy, shoulders are burning, you were not going to make it. What you can do again is put one of those weights down and just hold. My arms get a little bit cut off, but hold a single dumbbell up there like this. Okay, because it's very important that you keep your arms up there. We want soft elbows. We don't want to completely lock out our arms. And we want to try to relax our shoulders slightly, which I know is a lot to ask right now. Your shoulders are probably already burning. And we just started. 40 seconds left. Excuse me. So we'll get through this one. Trying to keep our chest up high, get those angles in the feet, the knee, the hip. More than halfway there. There we go. Okay. So pushing through this one. We're going to feel some stuff, a lot happening in our core and our back, your mid-back, upper back. And that's all from holding those weights up. Okay, so keep them up there. So you can get that work. 5 seconds left. You can do this. 3, 2, 1, and put them down and aside. Back up in it. Accelerating our cardio with these movements. Okay, whatever one you're going to do, starting in about 10 seconds. All right, so get ready. And we're going to try to do the same thing we did on the first 2. But you're not. Let's go. Okay, 3rd set. So we're working through these ones. Trying to push ourselves. I know I have this jump rope here. I keep doing the imaginary ones because I do not quite have enough space. I kind of hit the walls and the plants, and it's just not a good experience. So instead, I just did the imaginary. That might be the same case for you, or maybe you don't even have a jump rope, but the most important thing is that you are pushing yourself. So I want you to think about how you feel right now. We have 30 seconds left, okay? If you get to the end of this minute and you feel like you can keep going, I want you to push yourself harder, okay? Especially on the last 15 seconds, which I will mostly always kind of give you that cue for. All right, which is right now. 15 seconds left, so let's see if we can crank it up a notch, add a little bit more, see if we can get ourselves going a bit faster, a bit more intense, and hold it there. So we're almost at the end of this one. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, 30 seconds of rest, and then we are on to the next one, which I do have on my list. It's our invisible ball slams. So with these ones, and these can be super easy. They can. If you don't think about it, if you're just kind of going up and down and kind of flopping your body around like this, okay, you're not going to get very much out of this. You might even put yourself at risk for injury, for injuring your lower back or something else, which is not what we want. So timer has started. You want a nice strong core, strong overhead position, and then exhale and try to be powerful. I want to hear your breath, although I know I cannot hear you as you are on the other side of the screen, but you can hear yourself, okay? So on the way down, we want to hear that exhale, and if you're doing that, you know that that's going to be the most powerful thing that you can do, that exhale, that's your power. So especially when we're trying to be explosive, we're trying to be powerful, like in this one, we want to use that breath to our advantage, all right? So we'll try to add that in if we are not already. You're already breathing really heavy, all right? So no shame in that exhale. 10 seconds left. Let's go. Use that breath. Come on. Last couple reps. Strong finish. 3, 2, 1. Time. Very nice work. Okay, so we are on to set number 4 of this cardio acceleration. Okay, so starting in about 15 seconds. There's any hair in my shirt. All right, so getting ready to start in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. All right, starting this set. set number 4. And these 2. There you go. All right, pushing through this one. Now we are starting to get tired. I know how you are feeling. Okay, so now is the most important that you do consciously think about working harder, as it might just kind of break you even to maintain what you did in those first few sets. Because again, we're getting more tired, more fatigued. We feel it, yes, but it's most important now, and of course in our last round, that we try to be as strong as we were in our first round. Okay, especially on these acceleration exercises where maybe very easy, very simple to just slow down, but you know you're going to get much more if you don't. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right. All right. So we're on to the next one, which is also the last one, which is our off-knee dumbbell pull-through. So we're going to get on down there, bring that dumbbell or dumbbells with you. Again, you can just use one dumbbell. You can bring 2 with you. Okay, 2 is going to make it a bit more challenging as you have more to move into that off-knee position, and then we'll pick it up, put it down on the other side, trying to control our hips from tilting and shifting. That is our goal. So again, if you don't have dumbbell or if you cannot control that, what I want you to work on is holding here and then just tapping that hand, tapping that hand. You can even work with just tapping across to start with this, and then eventually you can reach underneath and over towards the other side. Woohoo! Let's do it. 25 seconds left. That one. Definitely an underdog. Definitely a lot more harder than it looks. 15 seconds left. You got this. Okay, we have one more set of our cardio, and then we have 1 minute of rest. There you go. 3, 2, 1. And time. Nice work. Okay, so we'll make sure that the dumbbell is not in our way. We're not going to step on it, trip up on it for our final set of this acceleration. So take a couple deep breaths, about 10 seconds before we start. Okay, this is our last set of our second round. Are you ready? Ready or not? Here we go. Okay, so whatever one you were doing, we're going to try to do it as strong as it's ever been done. Okay, last week, last set, I want more right now, more intensity, more energy, trying to be very intentional. Everything is happening for a reason. Your arms, your legs, your feet, your breathing. Okay, we're trying to make all of that happen for 30 more seconds. Okay, and do not slow down. Whatever you have right now, you want to hold this, maintain this, okay? No exceptions, you can do it. You just have to essentially force yourself to. 20 seconds left, which we're good at by now. No one's really watching us here at our homes, sending through the screen. 10 seconds left, okay? Push yourself right now, don't think about it, just do it. We're gonna have 1 minute of rest, and that starts in 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, so this final minute of rest, okay, we're gonna take it right now. It's already started. You guys are gonna grab some water. Woo! Walk it off. We're feeling right now why we have this in here, okay? We have the 60 seconds of rest right now because this big old conditioning circuit, it's all in the name. This is a big circuit, and we are working for just about 15 and a half minutes in each one. So that, even though there's a little bit of rest in there, that's why we have this minute-long rest right now, so that you can kind of come back to a more normal level, although you won't feel completely normal, not until we're done, like 15, 20 minutes after. But what we're doing right now is taking those deep breaths, drinking our water, moving around the space that we have. 10 seconds, and then you are gonna start your last and final set of this circuit, okay? So grab your weights, pick them up, get them ready to do our thrusters, our last set of them, and it starts in 3, 2, 1, Let's go. Okay, this is it, our last set, the third set. I swear we did way more because of the length of the circuit, but no, this is our third round, okay? So your last chance to see how strong you can be, how intense you can be in these ones. And if anything, you just need to keep doing something, okay? So even if you have to slow down a little bit, you know, as we're reaching the halfway point, which you are right about now at our 30-second point, you can always speed back up, right? And you know that, you know how you're gonna feel, okay? If you do this and you're kind of going slow because you're tired and all that, if you can just add a little bit more right now, the last 15 seconds, you're gonna feel way better, way more accomplished, like you did the damn thing, over you kind of half-assing it here at the end because you're tired, all right? 5 seconds left, last one, maybe 2, and time. Okay, so we're gonna put those weights down, all right? Take some deep breaths. Going into our first set of our last round of our cardio acceleration. So now, if you would like, you can switch it up and grab a different exercise, choose a different exercise on our imaginary list. Again, the most important thing is that you're pushing yourself, you're getting your heart rate up. So choose one that you're gonna be able to do that with on this last set and stick with for all of our 5 rounds, okay? Let's do it. Whether we're choosing our jump rope, okay, whether you want to go into your split jumps, maybe you've been doing one of those this entire time through our first 2 rounds, whatever you got going on, okay? This is it. This is you. 45 seconds left. Let's do it. On this last round. We are getting there, I know. This is a little tedious coming back to these acceleration exercises each time, but you feel why we're doing this. Probably really feeling the stuff. And again, this is tapping more into like our endurance, us being able to do these things for more of an extended period of time without as much rest between each movement, all right? 15 seconds left. Here you go. So there's a method to the madness, but you have to do what you're asked, which is keep going. Don't stop. Only when you get the rest in 3, 2, 1, and okay. So we're on to that second movement, which is our walk out, over, and up. All right. So take some deep breaths. Maybe about 10 seconds until we're going to start. Are you ready? Ready and now? Let's do it. Okay, going through these ones. Is that going to start? There it is. About 30 seconds. I know it sounds maybe like quite a long time. It doesn't really feel like a long time though. So we have opposite hand, opposite foot. Okay, and we walk back up to the top. And again, if you have more space, you can walk longer. I mean, we know that that plank walk, that lateral plank walk, is probably the most challenging part of this exercise. So if we slow it down, if we take longer to move from one side to the other in the plank, or if we move further, we walk down the entire length of our room, if we have space for a garage, wherever we are, it's going to make this feel a lot harder. Okay, so 20 seconds left. If that's something you want, do it. And you can also flip that. You can take less walking, okay, less steps. This last couple. 10 seconds left. Maybe one more time over, standing up, and we will be there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, nice work. So we're resting onto our next set of that cardio acceleration. All right, so we're sticking with whatever we did on the first round, unless maybe you found it too easy, which I don't think you did. But in which case, if you'd like to kind of do something else that's more challenging, now will be a good time to switch. All right, let's go into that round. Second set of whatever it is that you are doing, okay? Whether it's our knee elbows, okay, our jump rope. I'm gonna try to stay consistent with it. 45 more seconds here. All right. So we can do this one. Okay. Pushing yourself through our last 20 seconds. On this one, that is, maybe a few more. Okay. So we'll try to keep it going here. Maybe adding a little bit more, 10 seconds left. You got this. 3, 2, 1, and time. Very nice. Okay, on to our next one, which is our overhead lift and hold with our 90-degree leg lifts. So we'll pick up those weights in about 5 or 10 seconds, okay, because that's how much time you have left. You don't want to get too keen on pushing them up until the timer goes off, which is in 3, 2, 1. So we'll grab those weights, push them above our head, and we will work with our 90-degree leg lifts, and trying to get both our knee, our hip, and our ankle all at 90 degrees. You do a little shoulder check as you're going through them, and make sure that you're hitting all those points, okay? And then try to have that same feeling through all your reps. Strong core. Actively, we want to pull our belly button into our spine, okay? We should feel tightness in our glutes as we're lifting that one leg. We should feel a little bit of work happening in that opposite glute, in that standing leg. 20 seconds. And we just try to keep those weights up, which by now they are way how they feel like someone has added some weight to them, okay? We're getting a little shaky, and that burning sensation is taking over our shoulders, our upper back, our chest. But you got this, okay? We're holding this here. 3 more seconds, that's it. 2, and 1. Nice job. Okay, so we're gonna put those down, put them away and aside for only the long time. Look at us go. 15 seconds over that, just over that, to get ready for our next set of our acceleration. Okay, so a couple of deep breaths. Again, we're picking up our jump rope if we have it. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Okay, we're working through our second last set. This one, we have 2 more. So our third last set, I should say. All right, let's get it. Pushing through, okay. We are halfway there. We have 30 seconds left. So this is where you're really gonna have to tap into the brain, your mindset, because that's really what this comes down to, is you are forcing yourself to keep going, all right, to not stop. Because you're really tired, and I get that. You should be if you're pushing yourself in these exercises. 10 more seconds left. We're gonna hold this. Do not slow down, okay? Stay right here. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and now you can stop that one. We're going to get our ball slams in. Okay, we have 2 more rounds of our acceleration, 2 more exercises, and then we're at the finish line. And you're going to go maybe a couple minutes over time, but that's okay. Easy for me to say, right? All right, so squat stance, invisible ball slams coming at you. Hot up next here. So we're going to grab that air ball, push it over our head. And we want a nice, strong overhead position. We don't want to be arching through the back. Okay, and then we exhale and we slam that ball, those arms between our legs. Most of us have done real ball slams. Most of us have even done those with me. Okay, so you know how much of a hard ass I was before about you chucking that thing as hard as you can. Because those slam balls that we used to use in the gym, they do not bounce very well. Okay, they do not come back up very well. You really have to chuck them. So that's what I want you to think about right now. 20 seconds left. Throwing whatever you're holding, your air ball, your imaginary ball, harder onto the floor. Okay, 15 seconds left. Use that breath, that exhale. Almost knocked out our next air freshener. 10 more seconds. Last time we're doing these slams. Okay, push yourself. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, nice work. Who knew that an imaginary exercise can be so hard? All right, so we're going to work with our second last set now, for real, of our acceleration, okay? So you have to do, whatever you chose to do 2 more times. This one and 1 more after, and then we are at the end of our session today, okay? So last 2 sets, we're going to try to push ourselves, and we want to feel accomplished. We want to feel like we did everything that we could do in the session today. And you know that really, that's you. I cannot help you with that, okay? Because again, some of us watching the replay, we're not even here live. I cannot see what you're doing. So I trust in you, that you are pushing yourself. And again, sometimes we need that reminder, you know, when we finish the session, that feeling of like, yeah, I did all I can do. Nothing will ever beat that, okay? You know the feeling, because most of us have done this, where we sort of half-ass a workout or half-ass an exercise. You do think about it. Maybe the next time you go to do it, sometime during the day, something that reminds you of it. So you have 10 seconds right here, and you'll have one more chance to do this, okay? We're gonna try to do it as good and as strong as we can, all right? Strong finish now, 2, 3, 2, 1, time. Okay. This is it. Okay, we have one more base exercise, one more acceleration exercise, and then we are finished. We're gonna cool her down, walk it off, calm down for the very last time. So we have about 10 seconds. We're gonna grab onto our dumbbell, bring it over to our mat, and get ourselves in that all 4 position. Ready? Ready or not? Let's do it. So we're popping off the knees. Okay, and we're grabbing that dumbbell. We're working with that tap. Whatever you're doing, we're trying to keep the hips as stable as possible so they're not shifting, tilting. You want to control that. You're going to get some sneaky core work in. You're also going to get much more out of this entire exercise. Tighten up the hips. And you hold them tight, okay? You're going to try to keep doing that. 30 more seconds. Woohoo! You got nice work. So breathing through these ones. This is potentially the hardest one. I know, it's the last one too. Yes. 15 seconds left, okay? So if you're feeling like you're not gonna make it, you will. Maybe you just hold that off knee. Okay, just hang up there. Don't touch your knees down. Not yet. Only in 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay. Now you can touch your knees down and stand up more specifically because we have our final cardio acceleration exercise. Okay, the last set of this one starts in 15 seconds. So we'll move those weights out of the way. Take some deep breaths because you're going to need them to get you through this last round. Okay, this is going to be our strongest set, this last one. It's not going to be easy because we're the most tired. Let's go. We're trying to work faster. Okay, if you're jump roping, feet are jumping, wrists are moving, everything is faster. Okay, whatever it is, knee to elbows, we're trying to be quicker, more intense. Making ourselves feel that uncomfortable. I need to stop feeling, but you just keep going, keep pushing yourself. Okay, and that's where we're going to get the benefit here, the most out of this session is you getting your heart rate up as high as you can right now. 30 seconds left, let's go. Okay, no other options but to maintain what you have going on right now or go faster. Okay, nobody's slowing down. Not on our last set, our last movement. Not today. Let's go. 15 seconds. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We are going right to the end today, my friends. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And woo! We are done. Do you feel done? I think you probably feel quite done. All right, so we're going to take the next 2 minutes, to breathe, because we need to do that right now. You're most likely feeling very hot and heavy, like you just did a conditioning session. And if you feel that way, then that is good. That's success, because that's what we're going for. Right now, what we're going for is for you to feel more like a normal person, a normal human being who just who's not doing that conditioning, okay? So we want to calm down, we want to breathe, take our nice belly breaths, sending that air into our tummy so we can get all the oxygen that we can to help us kind of bring ourselves back to normal. And drink some water, and walking helps, moving helps, okay? Rather than sitting, I know you feel like you want to just sit and flop down on the floor and roll down on the floor, but before you do that, for safety reasons, your heart, your body when your blood's pumping and flowing like that, it doesn't like to just stop, okay? It likes to gradually cool down and calm down, which is why I'm always quite specific on you walking it off, literally, after our conditioning, okay? So I'm also kind of pacing like a weirdo right now, and you might be doing that too. If you have more space, you can have bigger circles, whatever it is, but I want you guys to calm down. Okay, there are a couple stretches that I will ask you to do, but you are going to have to do them on your own time, and you will not have a problem doing them because they're going to feel really good after all that stuff we did, all that jumping around. So starting off with our calves. That's the first one that we're going to stretch. So as you start to feel a little bit more normal, you can bring yourself to a wall, get yourself into this lunge position, a forward lean, shifting the weight forward, and we'll feel that stretch in that back calf, the lower leg. So I just turned off our timer that I had set for 2 minutes, so you're most likely feeling a little bit better. If you need more time, take your time, all right? When we go into holding these, which if you want to start right now, find a clock or timer so that you can time yourself. We're going to do 60 seconds on one side, and then we'll switch and do 60 seconds on the other side. Holding this calf stretch. Ooh, it feels so nice again after we did all that jumping around. This is going to help us loosen up our calves and overall just it feels really good to do after that. So that's the first one. The second one that we want to do is interlace our fingers. We're going to spread our shoulder blades apart, tuck our chin. So when you're finished that one, and then we round down. So this is another one that's going to feel really good. We want to think about rounding down from the top of our spine all the way down until we get to a position where we're just hanging. We're going to feel a nice opening stretch through our back, our lower back and our mid back, back of the neck, okay? And the entire time we're trying to spread our shoulder blades apart, and we'll hold this here for about 30 seconds, upward to a minute. So we're getting a bit of a stretch through the back of the legs, but most of that stretch is through the low back and the upper back, okay? Which is, again, gonna feel real nice after all that crazy stuff we did. The last, excuse me, just inhale the hair. The last and final stretch that you can complete is down on the floor, and it's for our glutes and our hips, okay? Because we are probably feeling a lot back there by now, yesterday, the day before. So we're gonna reach through, pull in that leg, and get a nice stretch, opening stretch on the back of this hip over here, on the side of the hip, 60 seconds, and then we shall switch, spend 60 seconds on the other side, and then you guys are done. So if there's any other stretches that you want to do, okay, maybe you want to incorporate some of our bow and arrow. Feels very nice. It's going to help you again open up your lower back if it's feeling tight. That's another one that you can incorporate. You can flip over and work with our cat-cow. These ones are just optional. Okay, I showed you the ones that I really want you to do. But if there's anything else that you want to stretch through right now, is the perfect time because we're nice and warm. And that is important when we do these static stretches, these holding, lengthening stretches. We want to be warm. We don't want to go into them like first thing out of bed when we're cold and we haven't done any movement. So now would be a great time to stretch it out, okay? But you, my friends, are done with me on this Wednesday. I hope you feel good by now. If you don't, you will in a little bit when you've eaten and showered and started your day or carried on with your day. But I want to thank you so much for joining me for another session for body conditioning. This is not easy stuff, but you're always going to feel better when you finish it and when you've done it. Have a great day, and I will catch you guys next time, aka tomorrow, for our upper body. I'll see you then. Okay, bye.